Hey, it's Bill. How's everybody doing today? Today we're going to take a look at this Team Raffee 3-to-1 gear reduction unit. We'll look inside of it and then get it mounted up to one of these motors. Alright, so this is what we got. This is the unit. I did measure it, and it's exactly 7/8 of an inch is what it's going to add to the length of your motor. So you got to make sure you got room on your truck wherever your motor's mounted to accommodate the extra length of this, because it's going to add almost an inch. Weight wise, let's measure it. It weighs exactly 3.5 ounces is what it's going to add to the truck. So, but let's take a look at it. You got the pinion. You take it off, you know, when it's got the base. And there's a little washer in here, or spacer. And then you got the gears in the housing. And this ring gear will come off. So you got 4 little gears on there. But what this does is, for every 3 revolutions of your motor, this is only going to turn 1 revolution. So it's going to cut down the speed significantly of your motor. So depending on what turn you have, you put in, this is a 20 turn. I mean, it's going to turn faster than this 35 turn. In my XJ, I have a 27 turn. I've had in that at one point a 15 turn on a gear reduction. So it just depends on your setup and what you want it to do. Me, I like the 27 turn with the gear reduction because I still have the speed I need, and then, you know, plenty of torque and low end control. So, but what I like to do with this is just take a little bit of grease, and we'll just put a little grease in there, kind of get it worked around. But then what I like to do to finish it, because that, you can feel that grease, you know, in there turning, so there's some resistance. But what I like to do is just take WD-40, just regular WD-40, and just blast a little bit in there, and it kind of loosens that grease up and really gets it. I mean, it's smooth like butter now. You don't even feel any resistance. So what we'll do is then put this back in, put this on. But to set the pinion up, what you have to do is, we'll use this one for an example, is put your pinion on and then just tighten your set screw just a little bit. You want your pinion to be able to slide on there a little bit, because what you want to do is put this together and bottom that pinion out into the unit. If I can get it to go in there. Get in there. There we go. You've got to, I'm going to make it come out farther so you can see what I'm talking about. You put it in there, and then see, it hits the bottom of the unit. It's hitting the bottom in there, and there's a space. So you want to push it all the way together. So now the pinion is bottomed out in there, but it's still touching it. So pull it out, and then just take your pinion and just drop it down a millimeter or 2, and then tighten it up. So now when it goes back together, you're not going to have it bottomed out in the unit. So it's all going to go together. Another way you can do it is you take that washer that's in there out, bottom it out, and then add that washer back in, and that's going to make up your space that you need between there, so you're not bottomed out. So then you take this apart, and we're going to mount this up. Mount just the base up first. And when you do your final mounting, I mean, I'll put a little Loctite on all this, because you don't want this stuff to move around or loosen up when you're out on the trail or crawling or whatever you're doing. So we'll put this on. get it tight, and then just slide it back together. I have run into, you can see how much it sticks out, and then it's just going to go right into those gears. We'll just line all the holes up and tighten all these down. I'm not going to tighten them all down right now, but I'm just tighten them down. I'll kind of just go, you know, across, do like a little, you know, star pattern or whatever you want to call it to get them tight. But I have run into, on this 20-turn motor, I actually had to grind the end of the shaft down a little bit because it would never bottom out into the unit. It was always sticking out too far, so I had to cut the end of this shaft off. So you may have to trim your shaft a little bit. It's no big deal. A little Dremel and Dremel it off and it'll go. But, you know, then we'll mount it up into the truck, and that's about it. I mean, I love gear reduction. I mean, if you try it, you're going to love it too. So appreciate you watching.